think we can all agree that every little girl at some point in their childhood has dreamed of being in a beauty pageant like we see on TV. Only in today's time, some of these little girls actually get the chance to do it, but only it's not always their choice. Parents can become overbearing sometimes whenever it comes to beauty pageants, and they will almost live their childhood dreams that they couldn't get accomplished through their children. And we see that a lot already in different sports today, but beauty pageants are a lot more competitive. And you'll see once I go more into detail. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you guys a clearer picture on what actually goes into beauty pageants and like how these children and their parents, the steps they go through to prepare for these beauty pageants. After doing some research on the actual Toddlers and Tiaras website, which is at tlc.com, I found a lot of interesting facts that I think will help you guys form an opinion on whether putting your child in this type of activity is a good idea or not. Okay, so what I found on this specific website is that whenever the weeks leading up to doing the beauty pageant, you obviously have to keep up with your appearance, so you'll have numerous hair and nail appointments. And what a lot of people don't know about these is that it's not only little girls, a lot of little boys do it too. And actually, it doesn't start from like the age of 3 to 8. It obviously goes to higher ages. But some are like 2-month-year-olds and like babies, which their parents will just like hold them up on stage in their little outfit or whatever, which I think is a little bit ridiculous. But they do it. So it's all about the competition. So secondly, there's numerous coaching sessions and rehearsals that they have to go through. They take about a year to prepare for their big pageant. So they'll have different coaching sessions to get their dancing routine or their walking routine down. And so that takes a lot of practice. Third of all, they have to get spray tans, which is, in my opinion, not the best idea for toddlers especially. I don't even think that, you probably have to get special permission to do that, but a lot of them get spray tans for this, which doesn't make sense to me why you would have your toddler be doing that. But that's one of the steps that they go through. And also, flippers. And flippers is they're like basically dentures for children. And because children have like missing teeth, they don't have all their adult teeth yet, and some of them are crooked. And so, that you just put them over your normal teeth and they make your teeth look perfect. So that's the steps that they usually go through, and I'm sure there's a lot more, but those are the basic steps. After taking a look at CNNnews.com, it has been quoted that only the world's worst parents would put their children in this type of environment, which makes sense because, we're going to be judged in life already, but to put them in this sort of competitive environment at such a young age to purposely be judged on what they look like isn't the healthiest idea for a child to be going through. Yeah, it may seem really fun to the children, like, basically playing dress up in front of a whole crowd of people, which really does seem like fun, but at the end of the day, what they're going for is to be judged on what they look like and how good they are at their dance routines. So at radaronline.com, they have quoted that it has come to a point where it's no fun anymore. Because if you guys just take half an hour out of your day to watch one episode from Toddlers and Tiaras, you would be able to see the disappointment and like the temper tantrums and the stress levels that these children actually are having because of how hard it gets to prepare for these and how stressful it becomes, because once they're actually in the pageant, it's like so quick, and the kids get so tired or they get in a bad mood because everything's going so quickly and they didn't expect it to be that hard, and they just get really upset. And you'll see that if you just take a little bit of time out of your day. You don't even have to watch a full episode, but you'll be able to see what I'm talking about whenever I say that. At CNNopinions.com, the idea has been claimed that it isn't healthy to be judged on appearance at such a young age because it could lead to personal problems in the future, such as low self-confidence and low self-esteem, which I can completely understand because these are children. This is like their learning stages of life. They're absorbing everything. And to be put in an environment like that where you're actually being judged on what you look like it's not the healthiest sort of situation for a child to be in. Also, another thing, we already know already that the parents did agree to do this show, but the kids don't really know what's going on. Like, they know what's happening, they're on TV and stuff, but once they get older, they're going to realize what really all was put on TV, because, they're not, like, I'm sure they watch the show after it's aired and stuff, but once they're older, they're really going to realize and probably have a sense of humiliation of what was really being put and broadcasted to the world, for the world to see, because there's so many temper tantrums, and, it's really how they were feeling at that moment. And, sometimes we think it's funny because of the stuff that happens, but that's really what they were feeling at that time, and they can't control that. So I feel like that, once they get older, they won't feel the same way as they do now. In this type of situation, I feel like, not just me, but it has been a controversial subject ever since it aired in 2009, that there's way more negatives outweighing the positives in this type of situation, and that it's just not a very safe route to go. Now, when we look at the situation after learning everything I've told you guys today, and what we've learned, what really goes into being on the show Toddlers and Tiaras, and what it takes to be in these beauty pageants as children, we realize what is really being put into that. Now, we might ask ourselves, what do we do? What can we do about that? Well, if you guys have come to the conclusion that this isn't a healthy choice for children to be going through, at the end of the day, it'll be y'all's children that you guys will be letting do this or not. But if you come to the opinion that you don't think this is a good idea and that this isn't healthy for your children, you can either not support this activity by not putting your children in it, or advising your family or your friends not to put their child into this situation. So that's one thing you can do. Second of all, do not be fooled by the glitz and glam, because I know that sounds kind of silly, but it is easy to do that. Even today with money and cars, it also relates in this, because we see it on TV and we're like, that does look kind of fun, that would be fun. But what you need to do is do your research on something before you actually let your child get involved in it, so you can have a better outlook on what's actually going into it. And last and third of all, involve your kids in activities that are actually age appropriate and things that will build character in them and will build their confidence, because this is the years of their lives that they're going to remember, and this is what makes them into the person they will become. So as long as you keep them in positive activities, I think that's the best way to go. Thank you for listening today, and I hope that you guys were able to come to a conclusion and that you guys were able to get a clear picture on what beauty pageants are about. Thank you.